Now from the Weather Tracker TV Storm Studios, this is your weather today. Here's Chief Meteorologist William Cole.
All right, folks, here we go. Right out of the gate on this Hump Day Wednesday, or should I say this frosty cold Wednesday, very similar to yesterday morning. A lot of locations around North Texas are either flirting with the freezing mark or have dropped below. We're going to talk about that coming up. And then I think I see a warming trend as we begin to close out your work week heading into this upcoming weekend. And then what about any more rain chances on the horizon? I got some details on that for you coming up over the next few minutes and, of course, throughout the hour as well. But these were the morning lows, right? For any one location, this was as cold as it was. Again, a little bit earlier this morning, up along the Red River Valley, folks up there getting a little bit closer to a hard freeze. You can see some mid-20s showing up. Elsewhere, again, generally right around freezing. A few locations, again, still did not actually have their first freeze of the season. Most of those locations, in fact, even right here in the Metroplex, officially DFW close, but didn't make it, 33. Of course, 32 would put you at freezing or temperatures below that. By the way, on the Dallas side of town, Dallas Love Field, only down to 35 this morning. You can see, generally speaking, most of Tarrant County, again, from Arlington, even back over through Meacham or Alliance Airport, some of the more official readings for the Fort Worth area, yes, they did go ahead and record a freeze this morning as well. I will put that map, by the way, on the mobile app. Again, if you do want to check out your location, you can look at that and kind of take a little more time looking that over. So a lot of sunshine, again, similar to yesterday as we go through this afternoon. But the one thing you're going to notice, much less wind as we go through the afternoon. That will really ease up on those wind chill factors. Still pretty cool this afternoon, though, with a daytime high right around 53 here in the Metroplex. So looking around the region, this is the surface map. Surface map, we would typically be looking for any weather features, cold fronts, warm fronts, dry lines, things like that. Well, you don't see any of that showing up, right? So we're basically in a pretty stagnant weather pattern. And simply put, from now all the way into the weekend, that's basically going to be your weather story. Again, temperatures will begin to moderate, meaning they'll get a little bit warmer day by day. But again, simply put, a good part of the country, again, you can see even looking at the radar mosaic here, things are looking relatively quiet. In fact, the only real exception is up in the Northeast. And then over my shoulder up in the Pacific Northwest, a little bit of active weather there as well. So we've got this ridge out across parts of the desert Southwest that's slowly but surely going to nudge a little bit further off to the east as that happens. This, what we've been talking about, this northwesterly flow or this kind of long wave troughing pattern. You've probably heard me say that 10 times already as we've gone through the week. Of course, that's typically a cooler pattern this time of year, or in our case, a chillier pattern. That begins to break up. We go into more of a zonal flow, jet stream coming from west to east, and typically that can be a fairly quiet weather pattern. And simply put, as we go over the next several days, that will be the case. The one feature we're going to be watching as we go through at least the next couple of days, it's pretty faint, but you can barely see it right here. There's an area of low pressure. It's essentially cut off from the main jet, and it's going to kind of meander its way through parts, right now the way it looks, just through parts of Old Mexico. For any reason that would get a little bit further to the north, it could potentially influence our weather here in North Texas. There it is right there. But again, right now, all the data is basically just moving it from west to east as well, and it doesn't come up any further to the north. So without that, again, like I mentioned, really as we go over the next several days, in fact, the next 5 days here, who has the opportunity to see rain? I really had to zoom this out. But again, you can see there's that opportunity down across parts of Mexico. Elsewhere, yeah, it stays relatively quiet in the southern plains. So even as we look at the modeling, again, just here locally, taking you through today, taking you through tonight, and again, even taking you through tomorrow, there may be a little bit of high-level cloud cover that tries to filter through as we go through tomorrow, Thursday. But again, outside of that, we're basically dry. And again, no real weather features showing up in our pattern. So daytime highs generally in the lower to mid 50s, maybe approach 60 out in our western counties. It's going to be another chilly but pretty fair Wednesday evening. You can see temperatures there through the 40s. Still could be a few freezing locations tonight, but again, they're going to be a little more spotty, right? More than not, more locations will be staying above freezing. And then we begin to throttle up the temperature some as we get into tomorrow, Thursday. You see more in the way of 60s, and we continue to throttle those temperatures up all the way into the weekend. In fact, you can see by this upcoming Monday, maybe back up around 80, possible rain chances towards the middle end of next week.